Canessa coming to you from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 16th day of February in the year 2024. Sure glad you joined us today. And here, as our regular new Friday spot, is the director of the Harrison Weather Center, the longtime director and founder, Tony Mondaro. Good afternoon, Tony.
I'll tell you something. I thought I made it big when I was on live with Lloyd Lindsay Young when I was a kid back in the day. This is it, Kev. Now you made it. We'll have your own spot in the Observer Live. Thank you, Lisa and Bobby, for the opportunity. We'll do the best we can with this.
I know they would say the exact same thing, too. Now, before we get into the weather forecast, today is somebody's birthday, and he's a mutual friend of ours, and that is none other than North Arlington Mayor Daniel J. H. Pronti. And I
Wow.
don't know if you can see on the screen right now, but I just put up a picture of him from 1984. The person who's in the circle is Dan Pronti himself when he was a freshman at St. Peter's Prep 40 years ago this year. So there's Mayor Pronti right there on the screen on his birthday today. Happy birthday, Mayor Pronti. How's that?
Absolutely, and still a very good looking guy even today, the mayor.
Right, but can't you see it? Can you see him? Like I could see those eyes, right?
Absolutely. Good
Yep.
man.
He's probably going to kill me for putting that on the screen, but I will deal with the consequences later, and I will make it clear that I was behind this. Tony had no idea I was going to do this, Mr. Mayor. Please keep that in mind. So, uh, nice day today, pretty clear. You were telling me that it might have been in the 40s today, but that may not be the case tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I think the weather will turn on a dime overnight tonight when we wind up seeing another accumulating snow. It looks like overnight. Big question is, Kevin, this is how much snow that we get. All depends on the exact track. Now, the last storm was a coastal storm that came up from the south. We had its own problems as far as the modeling and stuff. This one's been pretty consistent over the last couple of days. We call this an Alberta clipper. That's where it comes from, the Alberta regions of Canada. Usually, when clippers, the low pressure or the center of them pass to the north, we're on the lighter side of them. When they pass right through us, we get decent snowfall, an inch or so. And when they pass just to the south, and then try the last second to tap some moisture in from the Atlantic Ocean, that's when they get interesting. And this one is one of those interesting ones tonight. Now, it might be warm right now at 42, 43 degrees, but just prior to air, we were saying to you, in our pre-production meeting, we're worried about the dew point. The dew points are very, very, very low. They're 8 degrees right now. What does that mean to the common person? And that means that it may take a while for the column of the atmosphere to fully saturate and start snowing tonight. So that's why in some of our data that we have out there, we have start times as early as 10 and as late as 2 a.m. So we have that 4 hour gap, just the other side of midnight. Well, I can tell you safely, for those who have to do some last minute shopping or anything out there that you would do early on a Saturday morning, get it done tonight. There's no problem. Get it done before 10 o'clock. You have the whole evening to do it. It'll be no problem at all. First thing tomorrow morning could be pretty tricky, could be pretty tough, and overnight's going to be pretty tough. So those who work those midnight shifts and come home early in the morning, be very careful. The roads could be treacherous, especially roads, those secondary and tertiary roads that are out there that have not been treated.
If it does start, let's say it starts around 2 o'clock, do you have any sense of how long it'll last and what sort of accumulations we might expect, or is it too soon even on that?
No, it's fine. We got pretty good confidence on this. We think that as far as this, once it starts, it'll be steady. It can even be briefly heavy. We think the bulk of it is done by mid to late morning tomorrow. I think it can still flurry, it can still linger into the afternoon, as the storm's trying to depart. And I think right now, anything from just a trace of snow to 2 inches of snow, I think is a lock. You at least get a flake and up to 2 inches. If it collects that last minute moisture or moves a little bit further north than we anticipate right now, then we're looking at maybe 2 to 4, some places just south of us. Union County, Middlesex County, central southern New Jersey. That's going to be the storm. I wouldn't be surprised if some people in central and southern New Jersey, especially south of, say, the Art Center, picks up 3 to 6 inches out of this storm.
Oh,
And even further south into the Baltimore metro, where they can get maybe up to 8 inches of snow with this.
wow. Okay. So, all right, well, I'm glad you said that too, because our own Michelle is down in that neck of the woods, so we have to look out for
Sure.
her, make sure she's
Yeah.
safe down there. What about the rest of the weekend? Sunday, Monday into Monday. Anything on that yet? Or
Well, for snow lovers, the bad news is after this week, we may wait quite a while before our next chance of snow. So enjoy this one, because I think by Monday and Tuesday, it's gone. Because temperatures will be rising into the 40s and even low 50s next week. So we get into a warmer trend. And have you noticed, Kev, since we've started this, cold, warm, cold, and now back to warm again.
absolutely,
So,
it's been
so
nonstop.
that's how the pattern has been, up and down over the last couple of weeks, and we don't see that stopping right now. Now, this is what I'm a little concerned with. I'm going out on a weather limb right now.
Okay,
We've only had 8.2 inches of snow so far for the entire season. 1982, similar. It was, you know, cold.
hmm
Our bouts are cold, and we had low snow totals. It was kind of a quiet year. But April 6th of 82, it snowed 12 inches. It was
yes,
the April blizzard of 82. Do we get a repeat of that? It's possible. So, or it's a back end winter where we have more snow, say in March
right.
and early April. It's possible. Usually here we're done by April 15th. We try to close up shop for snow. But just a few years ago, up in Morris County, I actually observed the snow on Mother's Day back in May
No
up in
kidding.
Morris County. We had rain here. Had a buddy of mine from Randolph give me a call. Says Tone. Will said, Tone, up in Randolph at 1,200 feet. We have snow right now. It's about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. Flying up Route 280 up to Route 80 off the Rockaway exit there, and lo and behold, Kevin, I got my snow. So snow in May, and as a
Wow.
weather observer, to see snow in May, it's like hitting the lottery. It's like when you have thunder snow during a good winter storm.
Right.
That's like hitting the lottery. That's why Jim Cantori's jumping around like like a 2 year old.
Yes. Wow.
Now I promise. We get thunder snow here. I'm not jumping up and down. I'm 60 years old. Jumping up and down may land me a trip into the local emergency room.
Um, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. That was good though. When you talked about that May snow, was that the latest in the year that you've ever seen it? Do you remember what the day was?
The latest I've ever seen it. No, on this weather spot one day, we got to get two people on here one day. Nick Stefano from the North Jersey Weather Observers and Jack Murphy, who does our climate work here. And I think we've talked to Jack. Jack is the voice of Harrison when we get those robocalls for the town. That deep voice, Jack Murphy. Excellent guy. He has the weather records going back from to Newark from
Right.
his acceptance. So Jack can recall stuff off the top of his head where I don't even know what the high temperature was yesterday.
That is something. That is. Imagine having that kind of memory. I wish I did.
It's crazy.
Truly. What else is going on now? what does Tony Mondaro Saturday look like? Even if you are maybe not working necessarily.
Well, the addendum to that, because I missed a couple of things last week. I'm glad
Okay.
that you hit upon that. The local home improvement stores is very big for me early, and a huge shout out to my fans over in the White Castle on Route 17 in Hasbrook Heights. You have Margaret and Elizabeth over there, incredible. And I love all those fast food spots that I visit. The workers are excellent, from our Burger King in Harrison and Wendy's and the McDonald's in Belleville and our girls over there in the Heights there. It's excellent. My doctor's not very happy because I'm having cheeseburgers at 9 o'clock in the morning and
Oh,
sometimes earlier. But if you're gonna die of something, why not be cheeseburgers?
oh, and they're so good. right? I mean, I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit. I will tell you that mine was 14. What are the most you've ever been able to tolerate in one sitting?
In a lifetime, in my lifetime, at 60 years, in my 60 years of existence.
Let's say, yeah, but in one sitting though, like not all total, but one day you sat down and like, damn, this is so good, and you almost couldn't stop. Mine was 14.
All right, you got me beat. Back in the day, when I used to ride the squad on the ambulance for many, many days and many, many hours, and White Castle was open 24/7.
Yeah,
I once did 10 at 3:30 in the morning, coming home from a Hackensack transport.
10.
Taking after 10.
That's still
Yeah,
pretty impressive. That is very good.
yeah.
I admire that very very much. I
Present day, it's about 4 or 5,
4 or
depending
5.
if I'm hungry and if I get the onion ring. But I have to wash it down with a Coke Zero or a Diet Coke. And I got used to Diet Coke. I'm a type 2 diabetic,
Yeah,
and you have to watch your sugar. I won't even go near a donut or a cookie no more.
no.
Because of all the sugar in it.
And if you can get used to a Diet Coke, I have too. I really like it much better than that because sometimes I take a sip of regular Coke and it's like, oh my god, it's so sweet. It just kind of
Yeah,
like goes right through you almost.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. So I try to avoid that.
Wow.
Folks, on our Facebook page, we'll be taking reports tonight. So if you have any measurements, just let us know where you're from, what town you're from, even if you're outside the area. And please, this is a personal plea for me to you guys tonight. At the Observer Live, they're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. So please tell your friends, tell your neighbors, let's try to get us up to that 1,000. I think that'd be really the first good goal. How did the puppy do, by the way? Did Lisa's puppy, with
Yeah.
the votes, do we still
He,
vote for the puppy?
First, thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Oh,
What you said about the subscriptions, because you saved
mm-hmm.
me from having to do it. He has moved on to the next round, so he's now in round number 3. He's one of 10 that are left now, so we have to keep him in the top 5 for this round, and then it becomes tricky because then they narrow it down from 5 to 3 to 1. So we're getting there, but he's still in the top 5. In fact, he was number 3 yesterday, and now he's in number 4. So I got to put that website up later and encourage
Yeah, why,
everybody to go.
why don't you wipe me out and put the dog up for a couple of minutes, and then
I
we'll
don't
continue.
have him on here yet, so I would love to have done that, but I don't. I didn't prepare for it. I'm like, wait a minute, no, hold on here, hang on, watch this. I do have him. Here he is.
There we go.
All right, there he is. That's Colt right there, and he is looking to become America's favorite pet, and that's the website you can go to vote for him. AmericasFavePet.com/2024/Colt45 dash EBB. How about that, Tone?
That was impressive.
Yes. I forgot that I had it there prepared already. I was ready to say no. I forgot it. Damn it. So I see what happens when when you're about to turn 50. Your memory starts to go. So I don't know. I appreciate the reminder. so uh,
But no, that was excellent. And me, I'm so prepared. I just figured the heck with it. I'm gonna wear my Seton Hall shirt from this morning, because every Friday morning I go and have my breakfast over there at the dining hall to avoid that 280 traffic. She only has the one class. She's in nursing over there at Seton Hall in South Orange, and what a beautiful campus.
truly.
Also, that Nutley campus is really nice, where hopefully she winds up for nursing next year. It's a grueling program now. So any of the young ladies and men out there who are thinking about becoming nurses, going to college, if you're coming out of high school, be very prepared, because it's nothing like high school. College is it's a big eye opener, and she's learned that in her first semester.
Yeah, if ever there's an understatement, it's that. I'm going to tell you two things to respond to that. I started my first year at Seton Hall. I wound up transferring out of Seton Hall after the first year because I didn't like commuting. But
Yeah.
when I went away to Salve Regina in Newport, Rhode Island, I lived with 3 nursing majors, and the books that they used to bring home were like this high. I couldn't believe that human beings were able to get through those books in a semester sometimes. Are her books humongous like some of the ones that she gets? or is it too
I
soon
think,
for that?
well, no, she has quite a workload. I'm surprised they even offer so many clubs and opportunities for the students over there to join clubs and to do things. But their workload is a lot. Is a lot, especially for some more of those, some of the really aggressive classes over there.
Yeah. But when it's gonna will all be great when it all pays off because she's gonna. That's exactly. She's the type of young lady who we need in that profession, and God willing, it works out, and she will do very, very well when she gets there. And
Absolutely. Kevin, what do you think? Pitchers and catchers reported a week from tomorrow there'll be actually baseball on TV again for spring training game.
well, I saw a picture or video of Francisco Lindor yesterday, and his hair was white. He's eccentric, so he dyes his hair all different colors. But he was wearing like it was like gray hair. He looked old. I don't know what he's doing, but did you know that there are people who are doing that now who are actually young and making their hair look gray? Like, I would love to make this black again, but they're actually going out and dyeing their hair completely gray. Not that I want to have a discussion about hair. I just thought it was a very interesting dichotomy that you would have Francisco Lindor out there in Port St. Lucie, Florida, and he did that. I know you want to go the other way and look younger, but I just have a feeling, Tony, that because you and I have said over and over and over, this is not a very well equipped team, this is a not well prepared team, that maybe something special could happen. Maybe they could sneak into the playoffs. I'll take anything at this point. What about you?
I'm you don't want me visibly sick on my first day here on the Observer Live. I'm totally disgusted. I don't like what they did in the off season. I'm sure there's probably people that just took a baseball bat and smashed their computer after I said that.
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean? And our birthday boy included, because Dan's a big baseball fan. I just don't know. I just think that it's going to be a tough year, and I I know I might this might be my last show after saying this, but watching Aaron Boone talk about the Yankees the other day, his first presser, it sounded to me like a eulogy. Then
Yeah,
pushing the team. That he didn't do enough. I'll tell you something right now. Tools wise, set up to win. I like the Yankees' chances much more than the Mets.
yeah,
All
no
right,
doubt about it.
much more than the Mets. I could be wrong, and I'll be the first one to admit that I'm wrong. But my first words out of my mouth when I was born wasn't mommy or daddy. It was Metsy. Metsy.
Oh, Casey Stengel, very good.
Metsy. That was
Metsy.
my first words.
You know, I had two cats named Metsy in my lifetime.
How do you like that?
That's that. My cat before this one was Metzi. God rest his soul. He's been dead for 20 years now, but that was we named him. My grandmother named the first one Metzi after Casey Stengel. How about that?
And me, as a baseball purist, I hate that they changed all the rules with clocks and this and that and nets and all this other crap that you see, all this crazy music. I used to love going to the stadium, hearing Jane Jarvis on the Thomas organ
Yeah,
playing her Meet the Mets song and Let's Go Mets and all that other stuff. And a lot of these ballparks have gotten away from that now. What I do like it though about City Field is that is the you can walk around all of City Field and still see the play in
yes,
action and
yes,
never lose that. Now, if somebody wants that experience locally in the state of New Jersey, Lakewood, where the Blue Claws play, has that same type of stadium where they have something going on around the whole entire ring of the stadium.
that's as good as it gets, right? Remember how you had to run down the tunnels to get to see anything at Shea Stadium if you were in the
Yeah,
concourse? Oh,
absolutely.
right, and they
Yeah,
were so tight.
absolutely. hmm
Yeah,
Yeah, minor league baseball was great. We just had it over there a few years. I was the Newark Bears weather consultant for 10 years before that went belly up. And I think, Kev, not for nothing, it was just the location. It was getting people into the baseball stadium. And it was really a safe place, though. I worked there for 10 years, and people who know me, I'm like a walking editorial. I shoot really straight from the hip. I never had any problems there, and I
yeah.
leave the ballpark sometime 11:30 at night. It was totally fine.
If you're just joining us, Tony Mondaro is here. And on the way out, Tony, I just wanted to ask you one final sports related question. Tomorrow night
Sure.
at 8 p.m. Eastern, the New Jersey Devils take on the Philadelphia Flyers at MetLife Stadium for the first of two
Oh,
outdoor games. Yes.
hmm.
Right. The Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m., it's the Rangers and the Islanders. So Monday night, 8 p.m. outdoors at MetLife Stadium. Are those people going to be bundled up and bone chilled, or what do you think? Is that going to be crazy that night?
Upper 30s to low 40s for high, so temperatures will be settling into the 30s for the evening. As how the weather could be this time of year, a wonderful night for hockey. There's going to be no precipitation around. Are you attending either of those games, Kev?
No, because I just feared that if I went, it would just be a waste because I'd be too cold and wind up leaving early. It
Yeah,
would have been a chance of a lifetime since it's only happened once before, but I think I'm going to enjoy it on TV. But I don't know if I would have been able to make it the whole night. You know what I mean?
yeah, and as we go out, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a huge Devils fan.
Yeah.
I have been for since the Devils were in last place over there at Continental Airlines Brendan Burden Arena, and I got to see them in the early days, and I was so proud of them when they won their three Stanley Cups there. I really was, and Marty was great. I don't know how long you go back with the team, but my God, a huge Devils fan. Not really too much of a basketball guy, but I'll watch it for a couple of minutes. I'm talking about the pros. I'm a huge Seton
Yeah.
Hall basketball guy, and football I can give or take it, but I root for both teams. If they do good, and soccer too. I like to support the local soccer, especially the high school soccer.
Yeah, my two teams, the teams I follow the most are the Devils and the Mets, but the Devils the most. Manny Ventoso is just saying in the chat room that he's going on Saturday and Sunday to both
That's
games.
all. Yeah,
So
have fun, Matty. You deserve
yeah,
it. He's a hard worker, Matty.
he truly is. He'll be rooting very hard for the Devils, and my guess is he will be rooting as hard for the New York Islanders on Saturday afternoon. I hope to beat the pants off the Rangers because, quite frankly, we don't like them, and we don't like them at all. In fact,
The last time that the Devils beat the Rangers to go to the Stanley Cup, I was there with my brother Charlie and
in
his
that
son
game,
Dave. And when I was at that game, I saw that live. And let me
wow,
tell you, when they scored that overtime goal,
yeah.
that place was shaking like an earthquake, like it was going to come down.
Uh,
Everybody was so happy. And where I was the first time that the Rangers beat the Devils and knocked the Devils out, I was in Aruba when that happened, watching the game on a satellite in Aruba when they were knocked out. So isn't that really something? How I was actually in attendance for that game when the Devils advanced. That was awesome.
Tony, that was probably if people have made fun of me because I've said that was my favorite Devils moment of all time, and people say, "Well, that's ridiculous. Your team won three championships. How could knocking out the Rangers be that important?" But you got to remember the hell that Devil fans have gone through, having always to contend with their fans in the arenas, whichever one it is, and the little brother syndrome, which we have. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. That's the way it's always been. And when Adam Henrique scored that goal, I remember where I was. I remember losing my voice, and I cannot even imagine what it was like to be in that building. But to me, that was the top moment in the history of the franchise. It really was.
And me and you got to see a lot of great Devils through the years.
Truly,
Scott Stevens, Danico,
Niedermeyer.
Rochelle, Niedermeyer. Yeah,
Yeah.
good, great guys. They hit the guy that Scott Stevens put on that guy in the playoffs. The guy's probably still not right.
Oh yeah, that
Remember?
was Eric
Yeah.
Lindros in
Yep.
2000. Yeah, he
Mhm.
absolutely pancaked him, and because of the way he played, that style of hockey was basically outlawed. But that's great. We'll take that, right? And unfortunately, Denise Pavlik is a Rangers fan. She's a wonderful human being. I love her to death. Everything about her I do, except she's a Rangers fan. But nobody's perfect. We can excuse that, can't we?
And on this show, she's forgiven.
Okay, yeah, yes, that's right. We forgive you very much, Denise. I also want to say hello to Mercy Hernandez, who is here. Mercy, of course, from Midland Dairy. So, Mercy's here, thank you. And everybody else who is here, thank you. And Tony, believe it or not, we have exhausted our time. And this has been a great half hour. It really has. Thank you.
No problem. And as the weather gets quieter, we'll be talking about lawn and garden tips And you see there, ladies from the White Castle, both Elizabeth and Margaret. I did mention you today.
Yes, you did. We made sure of that, and I hope you enjoy them. Now, I think I'm going to have to order White Castle for dinner tonight. I appreciate it
I'll pick
very
you up.
much.
I'll pick you up. We'll go together.
Sounds good. Sounds good. We're neighbors anyway. We don't need to tell everybody where, but we're neighbors, so that's great.
Absolutely.
Tony, thank you. And everybody else out there, thank you very much. And we'll see you back here on Tuesday. Good night, everybody. Have a good weekend.